fucking work all of a sudden, so I'm pretty happy about that. I don't know what the else. I'm gonna try and make a video today on my makeup channel because I'm really behind on all the videos I'm supposed to be making over there, so yeah, gotta make this a short video if that is fucking possible. But anyway, I'm getting a lot of comments recently about the amount of swearing I do, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that. People think that I'm a bit hypocritical, I guess, because I'm such a huge Alice Cooper fan, and he's known for, you know, not doing that so much. First of all, I'm a bit confused as to where people are getting this, because even though I am such a devoted fan, it doesn't mean that I have to completely follow, you know, in his footsteps. You know, I don't have to do exactly what he does, act exactly how he acts. And for that matter, wouldn't that make it a little creepy? Started getting a little in the stalker territory. And also, you gotta keep in mind, I don't give a fuck, so, yeah. And the way I see it, cussing, it's really, they're just words. So, you could be saying anything, you know, you could call somebody a chalkboard and get the same effect, you know, out of anger, and get the same effect, because swearing is usually, it's just the emotion, you know, behind the word that bothers people, I guess. Like, if you're like, oh, you're a fucking cunt, and it's not the word so much that people are offended by, the people that I've talked to about it, that I've debated with, they say that it's the emotion that's goes along with the word. But my whole thing is, well, couldn't you call somebody, you know, a plate or a cat or something like that out of anger? And I'm failing to make the distinction here, you know, just because in our society it's, you know, we've made the words swearing, we've made swearing seem like it's so much different than any other word, but really when it comes down to it, it's not really different. And, you know, the origins of cuss words, so I've been told, aren't really bad, apparently. There's actually this one video that my friend made, and he's talking in it, and he's saying, I don't know how accurate it is, but he's talking about the origin of cuss words, and they're all really, like, fuck apparently means, like, go pay your taxes or something like that. And, and, yeah. I do see how it can really bother somebody from, I mean, it's not like I'm going to walk up to some, like, 80-year-old woman and be like, fucking hi, how the fuck are you? You look fucking shitty today. You know, like, well, I might do that if I'm, like, completely stoned out of my mind or something like that, but generally I don't think that's something I would, no. I'm starting to ramble here. Another thing I wanted to talk about before I make this video really, really long is, people are also saying that I'm apparently hypocritical because my religious views, and I realize I haven't made a video on this actually. I've made videos on how I feel about Jesus freaks, and I made a video in response to my friend Chris's video, how he felt about religion. I actually feel, I don't really feel any religious view. I don't really have much of a religious thing going on. I really don't. I wasn't really raised with that much religion. I don't. I personally, I don't care. Really, people, whatever religion you are, it does not matter to me. I don't really give a shit. I think it's good for whatever religion anybody believes. Perfect religious views and right religious views are in the eyes of the beholder, you know? Because I could take a look at, like, a Mormon and say, oh my god, they're fucking crazy, you know? But they could take a look at my you know, mindset and, you know, image of the world and things like that, and they could say, oh my god, that girl is fucking crazy, she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. And it's just total dysfunction, you know? So it's really just kind of, it really just all has to do with the person. And it's kind of like that in all aspects of life, I think. You know? It's really just all on who you are. So I think religion is good because it all depends on who you are, you know? It just, I think for some people they need it more than others, you know? Some people are really devoted Christians and that works for them, you know? They really, really believe that they're right, and in their eyes they are right, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's not my position to pass judgment on them because I don't have a fucking clue. I don't know. I don't know for sure. Nobody does. They don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. Nobody does. Because none of us know what the fuck's gonna happen. So it really, no religion really bothers me. Scientology kind of pisses me off, but still, I can't really say they're wrong, even though they're all dumbasses. But, whatever. No religion really. But the only thing that really, really pisses me off is when people try to tell me that I'm wrong for my views, because nobody knows for sure. Nobody can know and nobody ever will, and anybody that tries to grasp something that's just beyond our comprehension is just kind of ignorant to me. And they can kiss my ass. So, fuck them. But anyways, that's pretty much just all I wanted to talk about. This video just kind of went all over the place, and I'm sorry. But, oh yeah, the hypocrite part. I forgot to get back to that. Right, how I was a hypocrite, how people were drawing the conclusion that I was a hypocrite was they were saying that since I was such a huge Alice Cooper fan, they were saying that I was a hypocrite because he's such a outspoken Christian now, and I'm, you know, not so much. Again, I don't really see how that's possible, because just because I'm such a huge fan does not mean I'm going to try to do everything the way he does, you know what I mean? Somebody messaged me on YouTube and they were like, I think that you're fake, and I was like, I think that you're dead, or something like that, and they were like, you're going to hell, and I was like, what? And I think I said something like, that's how you get AIDS, or something, and they were like, stop messing around, I'm serious, I'm gonna have a serious conversation with you. So I was like, okay, well, whatever, I'll humor you, what do you want to talk about? And they were like, they said something about how I was being contradicting because I was a big Alice Cooper fan and he's a Christian, and I was like, well, just because he's a Christian doesn't mean I have to be. You know, these are my views, I'm not living his life, I'm living my own. And they were like, well, yeah, but I still think it's being hypocritical. You're talking about how much you love him, but then you have totally different views than him. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's because I'm me, I'm not him. And then they were like, well, now you're just being a smartass. And I was like, no, I'm just being right. And then they got all pissed off, and they're like, oh, you're a bitch. And I was like, no, I just did your mom. And then they started getting pissed off, and I just started writing a whole bunch of random shit. Anyways, it was pretty good. It was fun for about, like, 30 minutes, then I got off. So that was cool. So I just wanted to make a video on that, and just tell you guys what I felt, how I felt about it. Bye.